Today we're taking a look at the Gigabyte B650 Eagle AX motherboard. I bought this motherboard for a flip PC build because I like the features and the value for price ratio was quite good in my opinion. For a while now, most people have been familiar with the 50 series boards or the 50E series boards being a really good value on the AMD platforms. This was true in the 500 series, the 600, and even the 800 to an extent. This Eagle AX board is obviously for the AM5 socket, and I'll be pairing a Ryzen 7700X with it. In my opinion, the Ryzen 7700 non-X and X CPUs are two of the best value CPUs that you can get for the AM5 socket, even considering the newer Ryzen 9000 series CPUs have released. It's really hard to beat the performance for the amount of money you're spending on those. Anyways, this B650 motherboard will allow you to install up to 4 total DDR5 DIMMs, but as most people know, 2 DIMMs on the AM5 platform is better if you're shooting for higher memory speeds. I was able to hit DDR5 6000 megatransfers per second using 2 DIMMs. That was no issue at all with multiple kits, of course all using the EXPO mode when I tested it on this motherboard. If you do want to get into CPU overclocking though, or use a higher core count CPU, this board does have a 12+2+2 VRM phase design. The main PCI Express slot for your GPU is a PCI Express 4.0x16 slot, and that's generally good enough for every GPU that's out there right now, even a 90 series class card. All 16 of those lanes are going back to the CPU. Other PCI Express lanes, we're getting 2 PCI Express x16 physical slots, both running at PCI Express 3.0x1 speeds. Those are connected to the CPU directly. Those lanes are 1.1 and 1.2, whereas the slot 1.3 is still PCI Express 1.0 times speed, but it's actually connected to the chipset. As for storage, we've got a couple of NVMe slots here. The top one supports PCI Express 5.0 on Ryzen 7000 and 9000 CPUs. It does go down when you use an 8000 series APU though, just keep that in mind. But utilizing this M.2 slot, you are set for a super fast drive experience. And I really like that because that isn't an extreme board. This is just a regular B650 board. We also have another M.2 which is connected to the CPU at PCI Express 4.0x2 speed, with the last M.2 supporting PCI Express x4, with the last M.2 supporting PCI Express 4.0x4 speed, but that one is connected to the chipset. Beyond the M.2 ports, we do have 4 SATA ports as well, all 6 gigabits per second. As for connectivity for the rear I/O, we have a DisplayPort 1.4 port that supports up to 4K 144Hz, as well as an HDMI 2.1 port that supports up to 4K 60Hz. They really only come into play if you're using the integrated GPU, but it's nice to have. There's 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports, which are red, I believe, and we have a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type C port, and that's all directly connected to the CPU for the best performance. We also have a USB 2.0 hub, which gives us 4 USB 2.0 Type A ports for a little more connectivity, and that's also connected directly to the CPU. Getting into the stuff that's connected to the chipset, there's 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports and a USB-C 3.2 Gen 1, along with 4 total USB ports, 2 on the front and 2 internal headers that are connected to that chipset. We've also got a chipset hub for expanded 2.0 connectivity. Again, these ports are split between rear I/O and internal headers. This motherboard has a 1 gigabits per second LAN. I do kind of wish it was a 2.5 gigabits per second LAN connection, but I understand that was probably cut for cost reasons. In my opinion, the 802.11x wireless connectivity does kind of make up for that, but as always, I'd like to see 2.5 gig LAN. As for audio, we do have 3.5mm audio jacks. I didn't actually test these. Basically, all of my sound testing is always USB because I'm always using a headset or speakers, and it's kind of been that way for a long time now. But you do have those ports if you're interested in using them. I also really like that this motherboard does support BIOS flashback. Basically, you can update the BIOS on the motherboard without a CPU, RAM, or anything really installed at all. Super cool feature, and I really think every motherboard should have it these days, especially for what they cost. As far as fan support, we are getting 5 PWM fan headers to control all of your system fans and whatever CPU cooling solution that you go with, and it also looks like we have a couple RGB headers as well. Very nice to see. In my opinion, after building a system on this board, doing the initial config, playing around with overclocking, PBO, and the EXPO settings, this is really a solid budget B650 motherboard. It's got a lot of nice features, and it's not even an Extreme Series board. I definitely think that this is the type of motherboard I would recommend if you're on a budget, or if you're looking to build a couple of PCs and flip them. You're really getting a high amount of value here, especially for the cost. You definitely don't need to go for that Extreme Series board, an X670, or a B850 or 870 motherboard. They do offer some nice features if you can use them, but if you don't need them, a board like this, the Eagle AX, is definitely nice and it won't cost a ton of money. Sometimes you can even pick these up refurbished, making the value even better. If you're interested in learning more about this motherboard, or you want to pick up one for yourself, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button. Gaming PC and the occasional home lab videos are mostly what I do around here. If you're into that kind of thing, get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, keep on gaming.